right, we are live. What's going on, YouTube? Today I am driving through, I just left Chattanooga, Tennessee, and we are heading down to Orlando, Florida, and Miami, Deerfield Beach. I've got 2 stops in Florida, so we're going to be getting that done today. But I wanted to talk about making sacrifices, because a lot of people think that I am trying to give people false hope or unrealistic goals or whatever. Here's the thing: if it was unrealistic, I wouldn't have been able to do it. If what I did was unrealistic, I would not have been able to do it. It's not going to fit everybody's situation. It's not for everybody, as is trucking is not for everybody as a whole. Let me know if you guys can hear me and everything. I can't really read questions, but I'm just glancing over there when I look at my gauges. But if what I did is so unrealistic, then how was I able to do it? So I don't put out anything to try to give anybody kind of false hope. I just show what I did. Now, ultimately, it comes down to the principles. It's frozen. Let me know if you can see me now. Okay, it's coming through. All right. The principles which I teach are principles which I personally follow. I don't blow smoke up anybody's ass or try to teach you something that I don't follow. I practice what I preach, okay? As close as I possibly can, to the best of my ability, etc., etc. Now, if I do something that doesn't necessarily go along with what I preach, it's because I had to make a compromise. It's not because I wanted to do it that way or because whatever. It's because I had to make a compromise. Like buying my house. I believe it's a good idea to pay cash for a house if you can. Now that's kind of an unrealistic goal. I realized that myself. It's kind of an unrealistic goal. Bypass weight station. That sounds good to me. Anyway, the thing is, what do you really want out of life? What do you really want to achieve? If you have big goals, huge goals, which you should have goals so big that your friends call you crazy. But the thing is, if you have humongous goals and you fall short of those goals, you still achieve something great. For example, I have a goal to make $1 billion and I only reach 30% of that. I failed to reach my goal, but I still got $300 million. So who gives a shit, right? That's the idea. Shoot for something huge, right? Shoot for a huge goal. And you can hit something higher than you ever thought you possibly could. That's what I did when I bought my truck. I shot for a huge goal. I knew lease purchase was hard. I knew lease purchase was extremely hard. And the odds are against you. I knew that. But guess what? I set a goal in my mind that said, I want to have 10 trucks. I set a goal in my mind, I want to have 10 trucks. One truck didn't seem so hard at that point. Once I set the goal for myself, I want to have 10 trucks, and I'm going to figure out a way to get 10 trucks. Buying one truck was nothing at that point, right? So my goal is 10 trucks. I still only have one. I've fallen short of that goal, right? But I still got a paid off truck. So here's the thing. That's how I look at it. And today I'm talking about making shelter, clothing, entertainment, gadgets, everything For a long time, I did not even have a smartphone. I had a track phone. Okay? You can get by with a track phone. Sorry about that, we got disconnected. But you guys know that your cell phone bills are huge, right? You do it to yourself. Why? It's a luxury. Having the ability to watch this video right now is a luxury. Okay, it's not a necessity to be able to watch this video or to use the internet or anything. It's all a luxury, and it costs you money which could be set aside to do something else. These are the things that I made sacrifices. I sacrificed entertainment a lot. Didn't buy any video games, didn't buy any movies, don't watch TV, don't waste my time with buying a TV or satellite or anything like that. Okay? And cut expenses. I had an apartment. Okay? I was paying $600 a month for an apartment when I first started. I lost that apartment because my landlord, I was paying rent on time, all the time, all that good stuff. I came back home after being on the road. The landlord had changed the locks and threw all my possessions in the garbage. I was able to salvage a couple things, but pretty much everything else was gone. I'd lived there for 4 years. Ever since then, I absolutely refused to rent from anybody. So my girlfriend at the time, who is now my wife, you know, she pleaded with her dad to help me out, and he helped us out a lot. And you know, once I started driving the truck, well, I mean, once I got my own truck, I've lived in this truck. I have pretty much lived in this truck the past 6 years. My wife stays at home, and she'll come out with me from time to time. But I lived in this truck the past 6 years. That's a huge sacrifice. That's a huge sacrifice. Okay? You know what else is a write-off? A truck payment. I'll get into that later, because there's a lot of differing opinions, and I understand that. I respect everybody's opinion. And my car, I had a 2003 Ford Mustang Pony Edition. It was a nice car. It was paid off. I paid it off. I had a car note on it, and I paid it off. And the car was just sitting around, not doing anything, collecting dust, right? So I got rid of the car. I sold the car. That cut down, guess what? No more car insurance payments. No more car payments. No more maintenance. No more gas. No more gasoline use. No more having to get the AC recharged and having to get the oil change. No more of that. I cut my expenses there. That's a sacrifice, not having a car. This truck was the only vehicle I've owned the past 3 years or more. Okay? I lived in the truck. I work in the truck, and that's it. The past 6 years. You know, let the haters say what they want to say, but I don't care, because I know what I'm doing. But at the end of the day, these are the sacrifices that I made. Okay? If you really want to get somewhere, you have some huge goals, like I mentioned earlier, and you want to achieve those goals, you have to make some sacrifices. You're going to have... Anyway, you know, thankfully I have a very good woman at home that supports me in everything I do and understands what I'm trying to do. Because from the get-go, as soon as I got my CDL, I realized I don't want to be a company, and I don't want to be an employee anymore. I was already an employee as a prison guard. I didn't want to be an employee anymore. I didn't want to be working for somebody else, or, you know, without mutual gains, right? I don't mind being leased onto a carrier, for example, because there's mutual gains. They make a little money, I make a little money. So it's a mutual thing. But when somebody else makes a lot of money and I make a little bit of money, that's what I'm uncomfortable with. So anyway, you know, you guys got to make sacrifices if you want to get to where I have gotten myself, especially starting off with no CDL. 6 years ago, I had no CDL. I had a minimum wage income. I was bringing home about $2,000 a month, and I didn't have anything to my name. I didn't own anything. I just had a bunch of debt. The only thing I owned was a bunch of debt. That was it. Everything else I had, it was just material shit, right? So my goal is not to get, my goal is not to have money, is to have freedom, which at the end of the day, you have to have money to have freedom. If you believe in freedom, if you actually believe in living free, you have to have money. So if you want to be a slave the rest of your life, then go ahead. But that's not the life for me. I'm happy, and I hear people say all the time, oh, money's not going to make you happy. That's cool. I'm already happy because I'm doing what I want to do. Happiness is not about, material things. Happiness is about realizing your dreams and your goals and what you want to do, and the journey to achieving those. I'm happy for the journey, having the ability to do what I do. So it's not all about the money. I talk about money because that's what rules the world. Money rules the world. If you ignore that fact, you're just going to be in a world of hurt. You can't do anything without money. You just can't. You can volunteer, but other than that, you can't do anything without money. Everything takes money. So if you don't make enough of it, you can't do what you really want to do in life. I want to live a full life. I want to live a happy life. And the way to do that is to provide streams and systems of revenue so I don't have to worry about shit. I don't have kids to support, so I can't talk about struggling. Here's my response to that. We all make choices that put us where we are. That's another sacrifice, actually. You guys think me and my wife don't want kids? Or that we don't want to raise a family? You're wrong. That's another sacrifice. It's called family planning for a reason. We all make choices that get us where we are. And no one's to blame except for yourself. You made the choice to have sex. What is the consequences of sex? Or the results, I should say. Not consequences, but what's the results of having sex? You have a baby. That's what happens. If you have sex with your wife, you got a good chance of getting her pregnant. Are you guys that dumb? Please don't be that dumb. It's called making sacrifices, guys. It's like, oh, I want to live my life now. I am living my life now. The reason I'm happy with the way my life is because I have huge goals that I want to achieve. And when I reach those goals, it's going to be untouchable. It just is. That's the way it is. People look at me and say, oh, you're just a truck driver. No, I'm not. I'm not just anything. What do you think about union trucking jobs? I don't know. I don't have an issue with it. If the home time is right, the pay is right, and you like your job, I don't see an issue with it. Me personally, I don't agree with unions because, I don't know, that's all political crap. But politically, I don't agree with unions. I think they're unnecessary in today's day and age. We have very adequate labor laws in place, and I don't really see a reason for them to exist anymore. Other than that, I don't really want to get into whole politics crap. But I didn't say no pussy. I just said, hey, we all make choices. You can do what you want to do. But don't act like, oh, I can't do this because I have kids. Or I can't do that because I have kids. Bullshit. It's just excuses. Guess what? You can't deposit excuses into your bank account. All right, I'm going to deposit the checks I make, and you go deposit your excuses, and let's see who's better off. Keep making excuses, guys. Go on, keep making them. Think about it. Yes, it's going to be more difficult. No, I don't think anyone will be able to replicate what I did, and that's exactly why I did it. That is exactly why I did what I did. Because it was hard. I did it because it was hard, and it was a challenge. If you're not challenging yourself, you're not going to grow. You're not going to get better. You're not going to make more money. You're not going to live a better life. Because you're not challenging yourself. You're just comfortable with mediocrity. If you're comfortable with if you are comfortable with mediocrity, I really don't want you watching my channel. Because you're just going to bring me down. That's how I feel about it. So, what do you want? This damn cat. Now, people always say, oh, you can't do that because of this, or you can't do that. Don't tell me what the fuck I can't do. I can do whatever I want. And you can just sit there and watch. That is a sacrifice. That is a sacrifice in itself. Being out on the road, away from your family. You know, people say, oh, I don't want to be away from home because of my kids. Like, you think I want to be away from my wife all the time? I married her for a reason. It's because I want to be with her, right? No, it's not a political marriage like back in the old days where families would get married because of money. Like, no, that's not the case. I married her because I love her and because I want to be with her. It's a sacrifice being away from her even today. You know, I'll probably be out on the road for another 7 weeks, right? That's a sacrifice. I see a lot of guys that will complain about not having money, will complain about not owning their truck, will complain about a bad lease, will complain about a bad lease purchase. But they go home every 2 weeks. They go to the house every 2 weeks. They're not making any sacrifices. They don't get it. If you want to win at trucking OTR, you got to stay out. That's another sacrifice I made. I would stay out for 3 months at a time. And I'm debating doing that again because I can make a lot of money and get to the next level of this business a lot faster if I make that sacrifice and stay out here for 3 months. If you aren't willing to do that, then don't bitch when you don't have enough money in the bank. You know, that's a sacrifice. And I feel for you guys that have kids. I don't know how that is. You're right. I don't know how it is to have kids. I never claimed that I did. I never acted like I do know what it's like to have kids. And I'm not going to, because I know. But if you want to do this, if you want to be an owner, you want to own your shit, you want to own your truck, you want to grow a fleet, you want to make more than $80,000 a year. You want to take home a couple $100,000, it's $300,000, $400,000 a year because you got 8, 9 trucks, 10 trucks. You got to make those sacrifices for now. You know, I given myself 5 more years of doing OTR, and then I have to stop. I have to have a system in place within the next 5 years where I don't have to be out on the road. Because we do want to have kids, we do want to have a family. And in order to do that, that's why I'm making the sacrifices now. So when we do have kids, I don't have to not be there. I can actually watch my kids grow up. You know, that's the goal. Because I get it. You know, you don't want to be away from your kids. It's part of you, you know? But if you really want this, you got to make a sacrifice. And you see it all the time. Guys make the sacrifice for no reason. They stay out here for 30 years. They don't even know their kids anymore. They stay out here for 30 years and still don't have anything to show for it. If you're going to stay out here and you're going to work your ass off and make the sacrifice to be away from your family, fucking make it worth it. Woody's an asshole. Trucker Brown, my man. You're damn right I'm an asshole. I just tell people what they need to hear, man. If they get offended, I don't care. Get into a trade that gets you home every day. Exactly. I mean, look, you got to do what's best for your family. And if what I'm doing right now doesn't work for you, then don't fucking do it. But this is my channel, and this is where I share my story and what I have done to get where I am. So people ask me, Woody, how did you pay off your truck? How fast was it? Was it easy? Hold on. First of all, I'm going to send you to watch this video called Making Sacrifices. Are you willing to make these kind of sacrifices? Because if not, don't even talk to me. Because you're not going to make it. Or it'll take you 10 years or 15 years. I did it in 5. I made those sacrifices so I could own my truck in 5 years. From no CDL to 5 years owning a truck. It can be done. You know how I know? Because I freaking did it. Don't tell me it can't be done when I'm living proof that it can be. I know several other people who have done it. At Prime even. I know people that have paid off their truck. Why? They made the sacrifices. They're not lucky. I'm not lucky. I worked my ass off. I still work my ass off. I'm working right now. So, you know, anybody who tries to diminish your success, you have to ignore them. When people start trying to diminish what you've accomplished by calling you lucky and, oh, you're blessed and all this, like, no. God blessed me with the ability to work. I took that blessing and I worked my ass off to get where I am. Yes, God did bless me. He blessed me with the ability and the mentality and the intelligence to work and to work smart and learn the system. This is what I did. I learned the system that Prime had. I learned how to use their system. I found the loopholes. I found the way out. And I executed it. So, even though what I did might not be able to be replicated, you can find a different path where you can make it work. There's 1,000 different ways you can go in this business. You have to figure out the system. You have to figure out how it's rigged and fight it. And go against it. And do something that most people are too scared to do or are too lazy to do. That's how you win. You do what other people don't want to. You think I want to stay out here for 3 months? Hell no. You think I don't want to have nice cars in the driveway and all that kind of crap? No. It's not about what you want today. It's about what you want for your future. Nope, it's white privilege. No, it's not. Because I see people like Trucker Brown and LaShawn Parks making things work. You can play the victim all you want, and you're still going to be a pathetic piece of shit that has nothing to show for your name. And I know you're probably just joking, but still, there's a lot of people out there who want to play the victim. If you play the victim, you're never going to be successful. Period. I came from an unprivileged family. My parents are still dirt poor. Okay? I didn't get to finish college. I started at minimum wage, making $7.25 at a grocery store. And then I went to work at Radio Shack, making $5.90 an hour in Texas. I started from the bottom. I know what it's like. I've been there. Nobody handed me anything. And you can't say I'm privileged because of what I did at Prime. You could look at Prime and the diversity of the people that work there. And I know several people who are not white who have paid off their trucks. Okay, so just stop. That's the dumbest shit ever. But anyway, if you guys have any questions, I'll try to get to those. But we can talk about this more. This is an important topic. You've got to make sacrifices out here if you want to be successful. Nothing is going to be handed to you. Nothing is going to be given to you by privilege. Okay? Nothing is based on luck. It's based on your abilities, your intelligence, and your drive to work, your ambition to reach your goals. What's the end goal for you, Woody? Own a fleet. Have my own fleet. Run several businesses. Live my life. Raise my family. Not without the worries and stresses of financial issues that most people have. Being able to actually spend the time with my kids when they're growing up. Being able to help others endlessly. Being able to give to charities without even second guessing the amount of money I give them. If your goal is $1 billion, but you only make 500 million, I don't think you're going to cry, right? So I have huge goals. And those are not, no matter what anybody says, those goals are not going to go down. So that's pretty much it. You gotta make sacrifices. If you're unwilling to make sacrifices, you want to live in mediocre luxury. You want to have the newest smartphone every time a new smartphone comes out. You want to have the new car every time a new car comes out. You want to have the $300,000 house when you only make $50,000 a year. Go for it. You're going to be miserable. You're going to be debt up to your eyeballs. You're going to be stressed out. You're not going to be happy because people think, this is the thing. People think, oh, money doesn't make you happy. Well, neither do possessions. People confuse the word fun for happiness. Fun is taking material things or experiences, like jumping out of an airplane or going skiing or going racing or whatever. People take that momentary moment of excitement and they fill that void of depression in their life. That's why people do that. But those same people will tell you, oh, money doesn't make you happy. Well, jumping out of a plane doesn't make you happy either. It's fun. It gives you excitement. But that's not true happiness. So, I look at it like this. I'm happy right now, driving my truck, building my business, making the sacrifices that I'm making because I have clear goals and I have a plan to reach those goals. Happiness is the journey of life, and the belief that today is going to be better than yesterday. That's why it's called the pursuit of happiness. Because happiness is temporary. It only takes one moment in your life to take your happiness away. It's a constant effort to live your life in a way that makes you happy. And that's what I do every day. So, with that being said, you guys stay safe out there. If you have any questions, you can reach me on Twitter. You can reach me on Facebook at Woody the Trucker page. If you check out that page, Woody the Trucker page, my Facebook is growing much faster than anything else has ever grown. We are about to hit 7,000 people on Woody the Trucker page on Facebook. So check out that page. You can message me on there. You can see my posts, my memes, my videos, things like that. I post on there pretty much every day. So check that out. If you have any other questions, you can always leave a comment below. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up before you leave. And share this out. Share this video to somebody who tells you that that Woody is crazy. And I apologize for not being able to read all your comments today, but I'm doing my job. I'm driving. I'm paying attention to the road. So don't get offended if I missed your comment. I can't look at them. All right? With that being said, you guys stay safe out there as always. And try not to die.